Hello, campers and CTE professionals across the state. We are at CTAT in our meetings. We were talking about how could we get information to the members in regards to the new industry-based certifications that would be helpful. And one of the things that we came up with was to do an IBC review on YouTube and just post the videos. And we're wanting to address some of the new IBCs. And so this is a new series that we're starting. Hopefully we'll do 4 or 5 of these. And the folks at ICEV were kind enough to be the guinea pigs in this. Thanks to Dusty and Mark and all those guys. And we know that they're great partners with us in CTAT, and we certainly appreciate ICEV. And today, we'll try to figure out how to, Miss Newman, I got to figure out how to, oh, there we go. With us today is Kelly Newman. She is the Director of Business and Industry Partnerships with ICEV. Ms. Newman, thank you for being with us.
Glad to be here.
And we found out that Ms. Newman and I are really close to the same age because her dad and I started teaching at the same year. So that should dispel all of those rumors for you folks thinking I'm old. So hopefully we tended to that right up front. And Ms. Newman, can you tell us a little bit about your background?
Sure. CTE background is ag ed. My dad obviously was a high school ag teacher, if you know Mark's background. And so grew up ranching and just loved having 2 parents as teachers. And that just gave me a great introduction to the education space. Never imagined that I too would end up in the CTE space, but it's been a great journey. My role is really working at the intersection of business, government, and education. I serve as a liaison, working for all the certifying agencies that host industry certifications on the ICEV testing platform to any state department of education or workforce nationally that might be interested in using them. And I have a background in which I've worked for CTSOs, having worked for Texas FFA, worked on Capitol Hill for a little bit. And so my work now is really a compilation of all my past experiences and still get to work around a lot of the CTE folks that I grew up around.
That is sounds like an awesome job. Do you work with other states as well, or are you just Texas-based?
I work in all 50 states, and all of the certifications hosted on ICEV's testing platform are all nationally applicable. So they're all on lots of state approved lists and all used in all 50 states.
We know that Texas is the best career and technical education state in the U.S., but outside of Texas, what would be another state that really does has some good things going on?
Several states come to mind. A state that has had some really great structure to its CTE program and specifically industry certification approval and rewards for teachers who use industry certifications is Florida. Florida has always been a state that a lot of other states look up to. Another state that's kind of probably in that top 5 is Ohio, but Florida is one that a lot of states always look up to.
Very interesting. I wouldn't have thought that, and I don't have any idea why.
Lots of incentives for teachers to certify students in Ohio, fiscal incentives.
That's fantastic. You know, Ohio was the birthplace of Jack Nicklaus.
Okay.
Yeah, so those of you didn't know, 18-time major winner Jack Nicklaus. Okay, nice. So let's move on through here a little bit. As all of you know, on August 18th, TEA put out to the administrator a list, to the administrator addressed letter that basically outlined all of the new industry-based certifications for public school accountability. And in this, there were some this is all part of that TAA list, but there were some really cool parts of it. It had the 22 through 24 IBC list, the new one, which I'm sure most of you have seen. And if you haven't, then you probably need to download it. It also had a really good frequently asked questions component to it. And then it had some PowerPoint slides that really identified some key points of the IBC. For example, which graduating cohorts certain IBCs apply to. So if you haven't checked out the list and that FAQ and the PowerPoint slides, make sure that you do that because it's very informative. And also on those FAQs and on the PowerPoint slides, it refers to two different industry-based certifications, the V2 list, which I assume is version 2, and the V3 list. The version 2 list is the 2019 to 2022 accountability list. And then when it references version 3, it's the new list, 22 through 24. And so one of the things, Ms. Newman, is when I downloaded the list and started looking, one of the things I immediately started looking for were which were the new ones, who were the new vendors that received IBC. So when I scrolled down through here, of course, I didn't see IBC on their ICEV, IBC, got more acronyms than NASA. But I didn't see ICEV on the list at all. So I had to text you guys and find out, which ones were ICEV. So I would imagine that a lot of the administrators and teachers and CTE stakeholders out there would have that same question. And so you were kind enough to come on here and answer the following questions. What are the new IBCs available from your organizations? How can these IBCs be accessed by the district, by the teacher, by students? What's the estimated cost? And who can administrators or teachers contact in their area to get the ball rolling? So Ms. Newman, if you don't mind, I'm going to stop sharing and let you take off. Thank you so much.
Sure, yeah, glad to be here. And hopefully we'll cover all of this. You can see my screen, right? The PowerPoint?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. And if we don't, please interrupt me and correct me. So to get to the bottom line of why maybe you didn't see ICEV immediately on their list is ICEV is the industry certification testing platform. So we host other businesses and organizations certification exams as the testing platform. You're not going to see our name on that list because TEA this year chose to list the certifying agency instead of the testing platform. So you are going to see the name of the certification, and then you're going to see the certifying agency. You're not going to see that ICEV is the testing platform. But all of the certifying agencies' web links that are listed in that list do say that the place to go to get that certification exam is ICEV. So if you click on any of those web links, it will lead you back to us. But we do know that that's confusing. So if you need to take a screenshot of this or take a picture with your cell phone, these are the 8 certifications that we host that were added to the state approved list this year. And I went ahead and also added that IBC ID on this list to make it a little easier. And as we go through the presentation, I'll also show you some other resources that are just cheat ways that you can easily figure out which ones are the ones that we host that were added to the list this year. In an ICEV subscription, if that's something that you already have or something that you're hoping to get because you want to use one of these certifications, we have also gone into our certification playlist. And again, this is only something you'll recognize if you already have an ICEV subscription. We've notated which ones are on the TEA approved list now. So these are all 16 certs that ICEV currently hosts on our testing platform. And we have added TEA approved IBC next to the ones that are on the approved list. So again, a list of all 16, you'll see that some have that notation and some don't. Don't know if you can see my mouse, but you'll see that this one does not have that notation and this one does. So hopefully if you are already in your ICEV subscription, that makes it a little bit easier as well. So what do you need to access these certifications if you're interested? First off, you need an ICEV subscription. We call that a teacher license. So that's teachers' access to ICEV. That is not just access to certification preparation materials, or really that's the curriculum that prepares someone to have the chance to do the best they can to pass that certification exam. That's also unlimited access to all of the curriculum in your subject area. So let's say, for example, you're an ag teacher and you're really wanting to maybe prepare your students to pass this BASF Plant Science Certification Exam. That's your goal. If you choose to purchase an ICEV subscription, not only will you have unlimited access to all of the curriculum that's going to prepare your students to pass that certification exam, the practice tests, the comprehensive materials, the lesson plans, interactive activities, automatic grading, the integration with any learning management system you might already be using, like Canvas, Schoology, Google Classroom, fill in the blank. But also, this is what ICEV has been specializing in for 40 years, unlimited access to any ag class you might be teaching. So comprehensive curriculum in literally every single ag course. Same thing for family consumer science, business, health, whatever. So truly an ICEV subscription is comprehensive curriculum for your subject area. So when you're looking at this, when you see $750 for one teacher license, what you need to be thinking about is unlimited access for 1 year to comprehensive curriculum for anything you could want to teach your students. And this chart kind of shows that if your school chooses to put multiple teachers on an ICEV subscription, that it gets cheaper. If this is something you think you might be interested in, don't get bogged down in this part. Let me show you who your local curriculum consultant is at the end of this presentation. Let them give you a pilot of ICEV, or at least show you what it's about, to show you what you would potentially get, and then have some conversations about if it's a good fit for you.
Ms. Newman, if a teacher, if you come in and you buy a 3-year license and the teacher moves from your district to another district, who does that license stay with?
District.
Okay.
That's the districts, yep. Because the school is who's paying for it.
You can move from one teacher to another, the license, if you switch teachers.
Right, exactly, because the school is who purchased it. If you are interested in certifying your students, what you will also need is one-to-one device access for that student, because that student is going to want to go through the learning modules that is going to prepare them for success on that certification exam. The perk for you as a teacher is, again, that automatic grading, the alignment to the courses that you're already going to be teaching, alignment to TEKS, and that it's going to push to any LMS that you might be using. This is truly comprehensive alignment that also aligns with an industry cert exam. One-to-one device access is what we call a student license. So you have a teacher subscription, which is your subscription as a teacher, and then a student license. Student licenses by themselves are $10 a student. Let's say Kelly is in a CTE class one semester, and Mark is in a CTE class a separate semester, but Kelly left after the first semester. Mark was only in at the second semester. As a school, you can only purchase one license and have Kelly use it the first and Mark use it the second if you choose. So it's really a per semester cost. So $10 just for the whole year. A digital voucher is one attempt at a certification exam. Normally, that's $30. So Kelly gets one shot. So hopefully she went through all of her preparation materials and she's ready to take the test. A digital voucher is what we call one attempt at the certification exam. We have, since 2017, I think, been doing a great deal in Texas, where if a school chooses to purchase 100 or more combos, is what we call them, a student license and a certification voucher, it's $20 for both, where normally that would be $40. So as you kind of look at the breakdown and the different options you have of purchasing student licenses and digital vouchers, the best deal on here is purchasing both, because you need both for your students. Student license and digital voucher, if you purchase 100 or more, $20. Digital vouchers never expire. They also don't have to be allocated to a specific department or teacher. So let's say you as a school ran into some ESSER money recently. You'll know that you're going to be certifying students for years to come at your school because of these A to F requirements. Purchase some digital vouchers while you can. Keep them. They're not going to expire, and they don't have to be allocated to a specific department. You can just use them as you need them.
Ms. Newman, that sounds like an unbelievable deal. I don't know how y'all are doing that, but I know you're not broke, but it sounds like a great deal. But let's say that I have a student and they just jump on there and take a test. Is that going to waste my voucher, or do we have to approve that, or what's the deal on that?
You as a teacher has to say, Mark, I know you're ready for the CERT exam, and you have to allocate that voucher from your teacher account. So a student cannot just go in and start the CERT exam without you allocating a voucher.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm. And back to the feasibility, we're not in this part to make money. You know, we want to make sure that this is feasible. And we truly believe that certifications are great value adds to students' resumes. And so do all of the partners that we work with. That's why there's only 16 certification exams on our testing platform right now. We're very stringent about who we allow to host certification exams on our platform. We want to make sure that they're in it for the right reasons and not in it to make money. So that allows us to keep things feasible. So thank you. We have added some new features recently, and that has allowed us to become an approved resource for teacher incentive allotment. Now that CTE teachers get to play around with teacher incentive allotment as well, that grant money. ICEV is an option number 2 approved resource. And all that means is we're a third-party assessment that the district gets to set their own growth targets. So we give you growth measures, and you get to decide how much you want your students to grow, or what standard you want to set for your own district. Looks like I put third-party assessment on there twice. My apologies. But if you look up option number 2, you'll see what those 3 kind of qualifications are on there. But ICEV is an approved resource under TEA for TIA, Teacher Incentive Allotment. So if you add a new certification playlist this year, you can't be using the same old ones that you have maybe last year. You will get to enable the pre-test feature. I know that maybe this is hard to read, but I just kind of wanted to give you a sample of what this new reporting looks like. You will have both student and class growth reporting features in ICEV now if you enable the pre-test feature. What this means is your students will be able to take a pre-test before they begin anything else in the certification playlist, before they begin the preparation materials, way before they ever take the certification exam, just to get a feel for what the certification process is going to be like. And then they'll go through all the preparation materials and take a certification exam at the end. So you'll be able to see individual reporting for each student as to where they started, and then in that final cert exam where they ended up. So you'll be able to see Kelly grew this much in these various industry standards. That's something great to turn into your school and brag on your students. You'll also be able to see that for your whole class. My class started here, and then by the time they went through all the prep content and got certified, they ended up here. So not only is this great for TIA funding, but even if that's not a grant program that your school is participating in, I think it's really cool to turn into your administrators just to brag on you as a teacher and the great work you're doing in your class, to show how much your students in your class as a whole is growing, and even maybe to evaluate how you're teaching. And maybe some of those weak points is, man, my students grew in this area, but not this area. This is something I need to go back and reinforce and teach again. It will never go below 0. I mean, there can't be negative growth in this reporting feature. And so I know it's hard to read on here, but just wanted to kind of give you a taste that we show both percentage growth and then number of question growth in this reporting feature. Make sense?
Absolutely. That looks fantastic.
Here's our traditional certification reporting. If you haven't seen it yet, I think it's pretty cool. You can expand all of the little boxes that have an eyeball in the top right-hand corner. So for any certification playlist that you might have downloaded in your ICEV teacher subscription, you can this one just happens. I clicked on the Southwest Airlines one. You can click and see how many students you have certified at any given time, how many have attempted passing, average time that they're taking, grade. Errors means a student randomly exited out of the exam halfway through, maybe. Industry standard reports is similar to what I was just explaining, how students are doing on those specific concepts in each certification exam. And then this summary report is a lot more detail. The summary report is what you might want to download and turn into administrators, or even be able to use to turn into the state for reporting. And if you have an administrator login with ICEV, that's a similar report that your administrators would be downloading and turning into TEA as well. We also have some improved Proctor screen features. So if you've been a traditional ICEV user, these are some new cool things maybe for you. If you're not an ICEV user yet, these are just things that you'll see. Used to, students had to insert the manual voucher code numbers. If you purchased vouchers a long time ago and you've been hanging on to them, they were like iTunes cards back in the day, but if you purchased them in bulk and you're still using them because they don't expire, students had to enter those long codes, and it could be annoying if you weren't copying and pasting them from a spreadsheet. Now teachers can enter those. Teachers have to select now manual or digital voucher, and it's just a little more efficient than a student maybe making a mistake and saying what they thought the teacher was going to enter. Teachers now have the capability to reset a certification attempt if a student had a technical error. Instead of calling ICEV and telling us you had a technical error and us resetting it. We have a great award-winning customer support team, but we know it's more efficient for you to do it sometimes. You can see more detail in your student reporting features, and you can print your paper certificates if your student was successful on your end in a separate place now, in a place maybe that's even more convenient for you than it was previously. So just trying to make things easier on y'all. So added some new updated features over the summer. So maybe some of you have already even seen that.
Ms. Newman,
yes.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but how did the students receive their certifications? Is it mailed to them? Did the teachers print it out? How did they get the actual document in their hand?
Yeah, so two ways, or potentially two ways. A teacher can always print that paper certificate on demand from their teacher account if they so choose. So let's say the CTSO banquet is tomorrow and you want to make sure you get to hand those out. A teacher can print those out. And I do have a picture of the paper certificate in here. So I'll show you what those, an example of one, so you can see what that looks like. However, when you print it out, it won't have the shiny foil official seal in it from the certifying agency. So we will always mail it as well. So it will always come in a packet. So if this is a traditional school setting, it will come in a packet with all the paper certificates for the school at once. Or, you know, if you certified a whole bunch of students at once, we'll mail them. If you certify a bunch of students a month later, we'll mail that group to you later, because we want the students to have the one with that official foil seal. If, you know, a student earns it on their own over the summer from their home address, then it goes to the student's home address. But if they're earning it through the school, then it gets mailed to the school.
I think this is great information, because this year the administrators have to, they have to report the attempts, the students that passed the certification exam, and they have to report the students that earned the exam. So this is all going to come out in the reports, it looks like, from your software. And then also, a good thing about these that I see is once a student passes the exam, they have earned the certification. There's nothing else they do. It is
70% is the pass rate.
Yeah, and then the certification is earned. So in this particular instance, you know, like cosmetology, if they pass the test, then they have to apply for a license with TDLR. But in the case of the exams that are offered through ICEV, when the student passes the test, they've earned the exam. So that's awesome.
Yeah, for the ones that are on the Texas list right now, I mean, that doesn't mean that tomorrow we don't partner with a group who wants to do things a little bit differently. We don't strike up that agreement, but for the certifications that are on TEA's approved list this year, all of them have a pass rate of 70 and they all work exactly the same way.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Sorry.
Yeah, no, this is great. Just want to make everyone aware of, I call it a campaign, but it doesn't expire, a promotional resource, I guess I should say, that ICEV offers called Hire Certified. Really, it's a bucket of resources for both teachers and students and individual earners who come, to us maybe through Google or a workplace that's certifying individuals for professional development. It's our way of promoting certification earners. We want y'all to know that we understand that businesses are trying to hire folks off the street who are a warm body, who will show up to work on time, and we get it. But we're combating that because we think it's great to hire folks who have proven their knowledge and skills, and that's what a certification does. So Hire Certified provides y'all with some resources to promote the students in your class who have earned a certification, gives y'all some tools. We hear all the time about the conversation that happens after you certify your students. A student might come up to your desk and say, okay, you told me this piece of paper was going to give me a job. How do I make that happen? And that's where Hire Certified can come in. We also hate to hear sometimes that students think taking an industry certification exam is just another test in school. And we really hope that they see it truly is a credential, just like a college degree for some students, depending on, which career pathway that they're bound. And so this is a page that you will truly have to explore on your own, but I want to play a quick video just to expose y'all to some of the resources, but you will need to explore Hire Certified on your own. Hopefully this gives you a little taste. Can you see my YouTube page now?
I can see the video.
In your position as a CTE teacher, you are always looking to give your students more opportunities to expand their knowledge and develop their skills. After all, that's why you include industry certifications in your classes. But what do you do after your students have earned certifications? At ICEV, we have created resources specifically designed to help you support certification earners. On the ICEV Hire Certified page, we have a variety of free, customizable resources you can download to spread the word about students who earned industry certifications. These resources were created to help you and your students connect with business and industry leaders in your area, creating job opportunities for your students and filling in-demand jobs for local businesses. The Hire Certified page includes a variety of materials, from press release templates and social media graphics to certification success stories, and instructions for listing an industry certification on a resume. Every resource was created to help teachers promote students and appeal to businesses. So the next time you have students who earn industry certifications, visit our website for resources to help you encourage local businesses to hire certified.
I can reshare the proper screen now. I have even heard of CTE programs that have loaded up their students during the CTSO week and put them in a van and had them pass out some of those customizable flyers to folks that they wanted to be on their advisory board. So just some neat resources on there. Hopefully it's helpful to you, but you'll have to kind of play around with it. Another thing that would love to just make everyone aware of is that ICEV, for all the certs hosted on our platform, has collected over 1,000 letters of support, all organically written by various businesses and organizations all over the nation. These range from a mom and pop company, maybe it's a meat packing plant for the food safety and science cert, a meat evaluation cert. Maybe it's a large national organization, a group of wildlife agencies. I mean, it truly varies. And all of the letters are saying one of two things. Either I love the individual that I hired with this certification or individuals that I hired with this certification. Please get certified so I can hire more. Or two, The certification is awesome. Can't wait to hire certified individuals. Please get certified. And I haven't seen this from other certifying agencies. Maybe others do it, but I haven't seen it. And so just want folks to know that if their students are nervous about if this certification has value out there in industry, in the workplace, maybe your small communities, businesses haven't heard about it, but these certifications are definitely valued in industry, created by industry and needed. We have Bureau of Labor Statistics data, ONET jobs on all of the certifying agencies' landing pages on our websites. So these letters of support are pretty cool, and you can find them in 2 different pages on our websites as well. Really kind of last thing before I want to point you to some resources. So Mark, I hope you have maybe a couple questions. I want to show you 3 things that are kind of tangible things folks can walk away with. The first is a plaque, and they get bigger and bigger as schools have more certification earners. I've seen some that are taller than I am. That is a gift from ICEV to schools that are certifying 10 or more earners in any given year. So if your school is certifying students, we will make a plaque like this for you with all of your students' names on it, the name of the certification that they're getting certified in. It has the logo of all the certifying agencies that we partner with and the name of the teacher. And truly, we just want to honor schools that are doing great work in career preparedness. Some principals hanging outside of, where all the trophies are in the school. Some CTE teachers like to hang it specifically in their classroom just to create some competition for upcoming classes. But that's something that we like to do for schools that are certifying 10 or more earners. This is a picture of a digital badge that will be implemented for all of the certifications hosted on our platform starting sometime this fall. So we are in agreement with Credly. If anyone is familiar with digital badging, they're the group that we're partnering with, and we will start implementing digital badging later this fall. So it's not ready yet, but we're anticipating that it will be coming out soon. And then, so that's something both schools and teachers will be able to opt into. And this is a sample of a paper certificate. So you can see it has the certifying agency name, the cert name, and then this is a list of the industry standards, always signed by the certifying agency, has their certification ID, the date it was issued, and here's where that shiny foil seal is. So just wanted to show you some samples of what those things look like.
Awesome.
Lastly, Mark, I think you'll be sending this out maybe in PDF form so folks can click on these links as well. This, I think, will be really helpful to folks. If I can click on it too. I'll reshare my screen to show you where I'm taking you. We have created this landing page. Can you see this landing page?
Yeah.
Great. It's our website, icevonline.com/tx-certifications. And you'll be able to click on this, so you don't have to remember that. It is a page that tells you a little bit about the cert process through TEA this year, them creating the list. It links to TEA's official list. And then here, where it says download the list, we have taken TEA's list and we have highlighted the certs hosted on our platform since some folks are having a hard time finding them. So if you are interested in those, or if you're already an ICEV subscriber and you know that you want to use them or you've been using them for a while, hopefully this makes your life a little bit easier in regards to finding them. We made a little note explaining why it's been tough to find them. Here's where you can request a quote if you know you're going to need some student licenses or digital vouchers to get that cert process started in your school. We've listed all 8 certs that were approved this year since we do host 16. Some folks have asked which ones are approved. This links back to all certs that we host. This is a really cool resource. So we have created a step-by-step to completely walk you through anything that you would need to know from beginning to end to using the ICEV testing platform. So a lot of folks have been ICEV subscribers for a while, have been using the curriculum side of our business, but maybe they have not been using the cert testing platform. So this takes you through adding a certification playlist, proctoring an exam, using the reporting features. So this really walks you through those steps. back to this landing page, explanation of what all the CERT exams are and what they test for. And then lastly, what I think is really going to be most helpful for people, here's how we're certified, what we just talked about, is an introduction to all of their curriculum consultants. So if you know what region center your school kind of falls into, then you know who you should reach out to talk about pricing, ask specific questions. I'm always available as well. I do work specifically with the testing platform, but this would be your local curriculum consultant. So that's who you should reach out to. And as I kind of move back to this page, I've linked where that highlighted TEA list is, where we show you which certs we host, and then that testing platform guide, but you can find both of these resources here. Mark, that's what I have for you. What questions do you have?
Well, I think you covered any questions I could think to list. I can't tell you how much we appreciate it. And I'm glad that you put that list of people and the areas that they represent, because I know most of those folks, and, you know, they're all about serving the school districts. And I know that they try to drop by most of the schools and meet with the administrators or the ag teachers, you know, whoever their contact is. And yeah. I know, I mean, when you reach out to them, if they can't answer it that minute, you get a call back within 30. So I'm glad you put that up.
Training is always free. We never charge for professional development or training. They can get on a Zoom with you. They can come by. I mean, that's unlimited and complimentary. So please take advantage of that.
Well, the state has really emphasized the importance of industry-based certifications. And I'm glad that some partners like ICEV stepped up and really did the research and went out and developed some partnerships to get those certifications available to the students in Texas. So thank you guys so much.
Yeah, glad to partner with y'all. Y'all have been great partners as well. And ICEV is made up of lots of former CTE students, and we just really care about the community. So please reach out and let us know how we can help.
Well, unless you have anything else to add, I'm going to stop the recording, and that way the administrators don't have to listen to my voice any more than is necessary. So thank you so much.
Glad to be here. Thanks, Mark.
Kelly Newman, ICEV. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.